Hi, I'm Helena. After 5 years of saving every penny from my marketing job, I finally closed on my dream home. A charming 3-bedroom colonial with a bay window perfect for reading. My sister Melissa insisted on being the first person to see it after I got the keys. This is gorgeous, Helena, but so much empty space for just one person, Melissa said, running her hand along the kitchen counter. These bedrooms would make amazing nurseries. I laughed, hanging my new house keys on the hook by the door. Well, there'll be a guest room, a home office, and my master bedroom for now. For now, Melissa repeated, with that familiar look that always appeared when discussing my childless status at 34. You know, biological clocks don't tick forever. Mine seems to be running on extended battery, I said, changing the subject. Want to see the backyard? 2 weeks later, I was packing for an important business trip to Chicago. I can't believe they're sending you away right after you moved in, Melissa said over our weekly sister lunch. It's just 3 days, I replied, stirring my coffee. The Ferguson account is huge. If I land it, I might finally get that promotion. Melissa nodded too enthusiastically. Perfect timing, actually. I've been thinking about your house. What about my house? It needs a woman's touch. You're so busy. Let me help while you're gone. I could hang some pictures, maybe arrange furniture. I shook my head. That's sweet, but I want to do it myself. It's part of the fun of having my own place. At least let me water your new plants, Melissa insisted. Fine. Plants only. I handed her my spare key. Promise me you won't rearrange anything. Cross my heart, Melissa said, making the gesture with a smile that, in retrospect, should have worried me. When I returned from Chicago with the signed Ferguson contract, I was exhausted but elated. Derek, my best friend since college, picked me up from the airport. The conquering hero returns, he announced, grabbing my suitcase. Ready to celebrate in your new palace? Absolutely. I'm thinking takeout and wine on my empty living room floor. Derek's smile faltered. About your house. What about my house? My stomach dropped. Melissa called me yesterday, all excited about a surprise she was finishing up for you. She wouldn't give details, just asked if I thought you'd prefer dinosaurs or outer space. Dinosaurs or what are you talking about? 20 minutes later, Derek pulled into my driveway. As soon as I unlocked the front door, I froze. What the hell? My once empty entryway was lined with colorful storage bins filled with toys. A wooden growth chart decorated the wall. Helena? Derek followed me inside. Oh my God. I ran upstairs, throwing open door after door. My planned office was now a nursery with a crib and changing table. The guest room featured bunk beds with dinosaur bedding. My own master bedroom had been overtaken by a toddler bed and play kitchen. I'm going to kill her, I whispered. Breathe, Derek said, guiding me to sit on a tiny chair meant for a child. Let me check the rest. My furniture, I managed. My stuff. It's all in the garage, Derek called from downstairs. Piled up like a storage unit. I pulled out my phone and dialed. Melissa answered on the first ring. Surprise, she sang. I've been dying for you to see it. Do you love it? I got everything on sale and Nathan helped with the heavy lifting. Melissa, my voice shook. What have you done to my house? I've helped you prepare for your future. Those empty rooms were so depressing. Now they're ready for when you start your family, or when my kids sleep over. Derek watched my face, his eyes wide with concern. You had absolutely no right, I said, each word deliberate and icy. This is my house. Mine, not yours to decorate or plan or invade. Invade? Helena, I was helping. This conversation is over. I need to figure out how to salvage my home that you've destroyed without permission. I hung up as Derek knelt beside me. That woman is certifiable, he said. What can I do? I stared at the cartoon animals dancing across my bedroom wall. Help me document everything. Every item, every change, every penny she spent turning my dream home into a daycare center. This isn't over. She's not answering my calls now, I told Derek the next morning as we photographed every unwanted item in my house. Typical Melissa. Push boundaries, then disappear when confronted. These are all brand new, Derek said, checking price tags on a dinosaur lamp. She must have spent thousands. My phone rang. Nathan, Melissa's husband. Helena, you need to apologize to your sister, he said without preamble. She's been crying all night. She put her heart into this surprise. Apologize? I nearly choked. Nathan, she broke into my house and redecorated without permission. She replaced my furniture. She had a key, so she hardly broke in, Nathan countered. And she was trying to help. You know how much family means to her? This isn't about family. It's about respecting boundaries and property. You've always been so cold about children, Helena. Melissa thought if she helped create the space, you'd finally what? Produce children to fill her fantasy rooms? This is insane, Nathan. She had no right. She's your sister. She loves you. Love doesn't justify this level of invasion. Tell Melissa I expect her to remove everything and restore my house exactly as it was. That's not happening, Nathan said firmly. Do you know how much work we put into this? How much money? You should be grateful. I ended the call and slumped against the wall covered in glow-in-the-dark stars. Grateful, I repeated. I should be grateful they violated my home. Derek squeezed my shoulder. They're delusional. My doorbell rang. It was Olivia, my interior designer friend who'd helped plan my original decorating scheme. Oh, honey, she gasped, surveying the damage. When you said she redecorated, I thought maybe some throw pillows, not whatever fever dream this is. Can you help me document everything? For insurance? Maybe legal purposes? Olivia's professional demeanor kicked in. Absolutely. I'll take measurements, photos, and estimate replacement costs for anything damaged. While Olivia worked, our mutual friend Kara arrived, having heard about the situation through our group chat. Don't you think you're overreacting a little? Kara asked, examining a Noah's Ark bookshelf. It's actually kind of cute. Would you think it's cute if someone transformed your apartment into something completely different while you were away? I demanded. Well, no, but Melissa meant well. She always talks about how you need to settle down, start a family. That's exactly the problem, I interrupted. This isn't about decorating. It's about Melissa deciding my life choices are wrong and trying to force her vision onto me, literally. But she's family, Kara insisted. Family does crazy things sometimes. This goes beyond crazy into criminal, Derek interjected. She altered Helena's property without consent. I'm with Derek, Olivia said, looking up from her tablet. Based on my initial assessment, we're looking at about $7,000 in new items, plus potential wall damage from hanging shelves and growth charts, not to mention the labor cost to restore everything. I nodded. So what are my options? Small claims court for property damage, Olivia suggested. The documentation we're gathering would support that. You'd sue your own sister? Kara looked horrified. I'd hold my sister accountable, I corrected. What would you suggest? That I live in a house decorated for children I don't have? Maybe compromise? Keep one room as a guest room for her kids? That's not the point, Derek said firmly. The point is consent and boundaries. After Kara left, clearly disapproving, Derek and I sat on the dinosaur rug in what should have been my office. I need to handle this legally, I decided. Document everything, file a police report for trespassing, and take her to small claims court for the damage and restoration costs. I think that's smart, Derek agreed. Want me to come with you to the police station tomorrow? Please. And after that, I think it's time for a direct confrontation with my sister. Melissa agreed to meet at my house the next day, thinking I'd calmed down. I hadn't. Derek and Olivia stayed as witnesses, while Nathan accompanied my sister. I brought cookies, Melissa announced brightly, holding out a plate as if that might smooth everything over. I don't want cookies, I said, blocking the doorway. I want an explanation. Can we come in first? Nathan asked. Fine, but touch nothing. Once inside, Melissa's eyes brightened, seeing her handiwork still intact. See? It looks amazing. I knew you'd come around once you had time to absorb it. I haven't come around, I said evenly. I've documented every item you placed in my house without permission. I've filed a police report for trespassing. And I have estimates for the cost to restore my home. The smile dropped from Melissa's face. Police report? Helena, that's ridiculous. I'm your sister. Being my sister doesn't give you the right to violate my home. Violate? I improved it. These empty rooms were sad and pathetic, just like your refusal to start a family. Nathan put his hand on her arm. Mel, calm down. No, she's always been like this. Selfish, career-obsessed. What are you waiting for, Helena? Prince Charming? Newsflash, you're 34 and running out of time. This isn't about my reproductive choices, I said, maintaining my composure. It's about you making decisions about my property. I was helping you. These rooms were just sitting empty. They weren't empty. They were full of possibilities. My possibilities, not yours. You gave me a key, Melissa countered. To water plants, not to transform my house into a daycare. You should be thanking me. Do you know how much all this cost? $7,248.63, Olivia supplied, plus approximately $2,500 for restoration. See? I spent over $7,000 on you. On yourself, I corrected. On your vision of what my life should be. Did it ever occur to you that if I wanted children's rooms, I'd create them myself? You wouldn't, though, Melissa insisted. You're so caught up in your career that you're missing what really matters. What matters to me is my autonomy, my choices, my home. I'm sorry you can't see this was an act of love, Melissa said, her tone shifting to wounded. I was trying to help you see a different future. I don't want your version of my future. Helena, please. Melissa's eyes welled with tears. I thought you'd be surprised at first, but then grateful. I didn't mean harm. Intent doesn't erase impact, Derek interjected. You violated her trust. Stay out of this, Nathan snapped at him. No, he's right, I said. Here's what happens next. You have two options. One, you remove everything you added, repair any damage, and restore my house to its original condition within 7 days. Or two, I proceed with the small claims court filing for the full amount of damages and restoration. You can't be serious, Melissa whispered. I've never been more serious. After everything I've done for you over the years, this is how you repay sisterly love? This wasn't love. It was control. Melissa's face contorted. You ungrateful, selfish! She stepped forward, shoving me hard enough that I stumbled backward into the wall. I did this for you. Melissa! Nathan grabbed her arm. That's assault, Olivia said quietly, her phone raised. And I caught it on video. Melissa looked from Olivia's phone to my face, suddenly realizing what she'd done. Helena, I'm sorry, I didn't mean… Get out of my house, I said. Now. Any further communication can go through my lawyer. You're choosing a lawsuit over family? Melissa's voice trembled. No, I'm choosing boundaries over manipulation. Now leave before I call the police. As they walked out, Melissa turned back one last time. You'll regret this. When you're old and alone with your empty rooms and no one to care for you, you'll wish you'd listened to me. I'd rather have empty rooms than empty relationships built on control and disrespect, I answered, closing the door on her stunned face. The report has been filed, Officer Collins said, reviewing her notes in my living room the next day. Miss Walker, given the video evidence of the assault and the documentation of property alteration without consent, you have a solid case for both criminal charges and civil damages. What happens next? I asked. With the assault, that's a misdemeanor. She'll receive a summons. For the property issues, that's civil court. Your documentation is thorough, which helps tremendously. After Officer Collins left, I collapsed onto a child-sized chair, suddenly exhausted. You're doing the right thing, Derek assured me, sitting cross-legged on the floor nearby. Clear boundaries with consequences. Then why do I feel so terrible? Because she's your sister, and this sucks, he said simply. But enabling her behavior would be worse long-term. 3 days later, I received a text from Nathan asking to meet. Against Derek's advice, I agreed to coffee at a public place. Melissa wanted to come, but her lawyer advised against it given the pending charges. Nathan explained, looking uncomfortable. That was good advice. Look, Helena, this has gone too far. She made a mistake. A big one. But pressing charges against your own sister? That's extreme. What she did was extreme, I countered. She had weeks to make this right and chose not to. She's prepared to remove everything now, Nathan offered. We've rented a truck. Just drop the charges and we can put this behind us. It's not that simple anymore. Trust has been broken. Boundaries were violated, and when confronted, she became violent. She pushed you once in a heated moment. Which is once too many, I said firmly. Actions have consequences, Nathan. That's something Melissa has never understood. She's your sister, he pleaded. Family forgives. Forgiveness doesn't mean absolution from consequences. Nathan leaned forward. What do you want then? Money? We'll pay for restoration. I want what I've always wanted. Respect for my choices and my property. The court proceedings will continue. The next week, I received a tearful voicemail from Melissa. Helena, please call me back. I've realized I was wrong. So wrong. I've started therapy to understand why I can't respect boundaries. Please don't let this legal nightmare continue. I love you. We're sisters. That should count for something. I didn't return the call. The small claims hearing was scheduled, and to my surprise, Melissa appeared, with a lawyer but without Nathan. Your Honor, my client acknowledges her error in judgment, her attorney began. She's offered to restore the property and cover all associated costs. After being served with legal papers, my attorney countered. Miss Walker gave her sister ample opportunity to remedy the situation without court involvement. The judge awarded me the full amount for damages and restoration, plus court costs. As we left the courtroom, Melissa approached me, eyes pleading. Helena, can we talk? Just for a minute? I nodded, stepping aside. I am truly sorry, she said. I see now how wrong I was. I was projecting my values onto you, trying to control your life choices. Please, can we start rebuilding our relationship? I accept your apology, Melissa, but I need time and space. My boundaries aren't suggestions. They're requirements. But we're family, she whispered. Don't throw that away. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm establishing what's necessary for any healthy relationship. Respect. A month later, my house was finally restored. Olivia had helped create the space I'd originally envisioned. A calm, sophisticated home with rooms that reflected my interests and lifestyle. Derek, Olivia, and I sat in my new living room, celebrating with wine. To boundaries, Derek toasted. And consequences, Olivia added. Have you heard from Melissa? Derek asked carefully. She sends a text every few days. I respond when I feel ready, I said. Her therapist suggested a mediated conversation next month. I'm considering it. On your terms, Olivia emphasized. Always on my terms, I agreed. I've learned that loving someone doesn't mean letting them control you, and sometimes the kindest thing you can do is hold someone accountable. I looked around my reclaimed space, my office with its wall of books, my guest room with its elegant daybed, my bedroom sanctuary exactly as I'd planned it. The empty rooms weren't the problem, I said softly. They were full of possibility. The real emptiness was in a relationship without respect. Derek raised his glass again, to filling our lives with what matters to us, not others. And to creating our own vision of home, I added, whatever that looks like. Have you ever had someone try to impose their vision on your life? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about setting boundaries and standing your ground.